listening to Shop Girls on My Talk 1071. Thanks for joining us on a pretty dreary Saturday. We're going to lighten the mood for you, though.
Absolutely.
I'm Allison Kaplan.
I'm Alexis Walsko.
And joining us, two women who I've had a virtual relationship with for some time now. It's really lovely to meet them in person. They are the brains behind Ginger, a research and branding company in Minneapolis. Mary Van Note and Beth Pirro Jarvis. Thanks for joining us.
Hi, ladies. Good morning on this dreary day.
Oh, I know.
Yeah.
How did you come up with ginger?
Well,
it's such a hot word right
It's
now.
a great word, and there's lots of reasons behind it. I mean, the most important is that it was Beth's mother's name.
And she was just one rockin' gal. So I always thought I was going to actually have a girl, and I would name my girl after my mom. I would name her Ginger. She was going to be Ginger Jarvis, girl with attitude. And I was only able to produce boys. So I
have that problem, too.
I had to give birth to some kind of a Ginger. So Mary was kind enough to let us name the firm after her.
Right, and plus I have ginger hair.
I was going to say,
I
Mary.
know. That's what
Yeah,
I was
Mary
thinking
has
that it
ginger
was.
hair, and the other thing we like about ginger is that it's because of our business model. It's a spice that adds spice to the meal, and we're marketing consultants. So we come in, zhuzh up your business, tell you what your consumers want, what we could do, get you more business, and then we're out, right?
Right.
So we're the spice, we're not the meal. So
Now, Mary, I have to ask. I just was recently reading about a bit of a backlash on the ginger term. Like, let's just go back to redhead. When did
Oh,
they
yeah?
become ginger? How do you feel about being a ginger?
Well, you know, I think it's a little bit more exotic than redhead, and I don't like that thing about the redheaded stepchild deal. I don't like that at all. And I actually, my ginger, I have to say, is a little bit enhanced.
No.
A little bit. But my grandmother was a ginger, and my dad was a ginger because we're very, very, very freckly Irish, folk. And so, but they would never say that they had ginger hair. They would just say that their hair
Red.
was auburn.
Kind of like
Yeah.
red better than ginger.
Well, I think red is
it's
real
just-
red.
I
I
think
think
it's
ginger's
just-
more auburn.
I agree.
Yeah.
I mean,
All
I
right.
mean in terms, I feel like Andy Cohen, he's in love with the gingers right now.
Is that what he said?
No, he just is. Like, doesn't he talk about it all the time? Like, it's his key word. It's great. It's the best word ever. And then you have two gingers whiskey, so
It's hot,
you're
but
like
they had
in
it first.
great company.
Right.
Yes.
But you know, there's Ginger and Marianne, so I always like
Yes.
the sexy
Oh,
ginger
that's true.
part.
That's
You know.
true.
And she was not a ginger.
No, not at all. And also the little mole was fake too, in case your listeners want to know.
Oh
I had
my
no
gosh.
idea.
All fake.
It's all just a big scam, huh? So let's talk about your new survey. You do a survey every year on what women want. I want to know what women want.
Well, they're not afraid to tell you. We talk to leading edge women, so it's kind of a small, potent survey. We talk to about 400 women across the country tends to be bigger cities, I would say. Minneapolis, we're very well represented here. And we talk to the leading edge gal because she's sort of predictive of where the market's going to go in about 6 months.
How do you find how do you identify
Who are
those
these people? And is it 400 per city or 400
No,
nationwide?
it's 400 nationwide in 10
Okay.
cities, and we have lovingly recruited them ourselves or through friends of friends. So they have no more than 3 degrees of separation from us, and we know what we're looking for, that indefinable alpha dog in the female pack. So your pack might be the boardroom. We have some of those. Might be the pickup at kindergarten, but it's the one where everybody's like, hey, where should we go to dinner? Or what color cardigan should I wear? What about this parenting challenge? And all heads swivel to that woman. And she has an opinion, and she's not afraid to tell you, as Beth said, and she's probably right. So we find those people, and we put them on our panel, and we say, you have the chance to tell marketers what they should do. And these women love doing that.
And do they get a T-shirt afterwards that says "Alpha Woman"?
They could, but
I think you should do that.
We do compensate them very, very nicely.
Yeah.
Does
Their
that mean
time.
money or does that mean gifts?
Well, it's like any research project. If you recruit someone and you do a focus group with them or ask them to take a lengthy survey or something like that, usually you give them some sort of compensation for their time. Now, we like to be more fun with our compensation than just here's a check for $75 for coming to our 2-hour focus group. We would rather give them, like, I don't know, a pair of hanky-pankies and, like
That
a
was
card
in
to
the hot
Nordstrom.
color of the season.
That's kind of a lot of
Right.
pressure on the two of
Yeah.
you.
We
You've
have to
gotta
find the right gift.
You've gotta be
it's
trend
all
forward.
about the gifting.
That's
Right.
right.
Okay.
Okay, so tell us what findings stood out the most to you? Was there something that really jumped out this year?
Well, I think that the big thing that jumped out is there's just generally more optimism around our economy. And women are actually spending again. So after a couple years of, I would say, a lot of hand-wringing and a lot of worry about where the future is going to be with money and just feeling very shut down in terms of shopping, and being out there buying, they're feeling a little loosened up. I mean, they're definitely still pouring money into savings, kind of saving for a rainy day, but also doing some thoughtful spending again. And that's, certainly a good news to area retailers and our economy.
I mean, 53% of these women said they would be willing to splurge on big pieces of furniture this year or a major vacation. And over the past 3 years, it has been like pulling teeth to get them to admit that they'd buy more than a throw pillow for the couch.
Right.
Now we're talking about, the
it's
couch and the
fascinating.
end tables and not the dreary staycation anymore, which everyone was
Right.
so bugged with. Now they're actually planfully saying, I'm going to take one vacation. Doesn't mean throwing caution to the winds, but they're including that because this new normal everybody's talking about, well, now it's just normal. Right. So everybody's like, this is what I've got to do. I still got to save, but I still need to have fun in my life. And so I'm going to make room for that.
So do you think that has their money situation actually changed, or is it just their perspective on it has changed?
I think it's both. We definitely saw literally 3 times the amount of women from this year versus last year said that things have taken sort of a positive shift in our household. So either that means for them that there's a little bit more job stability, or maybe they finally got a raise after a couple of years, or, they've paid down enough credit card debt that they feel a little bit more stable. So, yeah, things are definitely, better from a checkbook perspective in their lives.
But also there's a feeling we saw in their open-ended responses that they feel that it's time to live my life. That I have to stop just sort of being in denial and scrimping and saving and thinking that it's going to blow over. This is my life. It's going to continue this way. And I still want to do what I need to do. I still want to save and plan, but I also want to have fun and enjoy
Can
my
we talk
life.
about this? I think this is fascinating, that some everyday luxuries are not coming back. So can you just sort of hit on what are some of the things that these women want to have in their budget or bringing into their budget, and some things that they're just learning to do without?
No, one of the things that they're saying is there is a lot of excitement about buying a couple new things for this season, fashion-wise, for their closet. So, they're seeing these sort of pops of color out there, and they're wanting to buy a couple new bright tops or some fun colorful jewelry or a great new pair of jeans. But what they're not maybe willing to do is go to the coffee shop quite as often, for the coffees out. Or we saw premium cable was something that's just not going to come back on her list. She can live without that. She's got Hulu. She's got other resources to get her media. Even something as interesting as hair color at the salon was something that several women, or a pretty high percent, said, I'm not doing that as often.
Interesting.
Yeah. So, massages are creeping back in, because that's pampering spa service. Can't do that for yourself, special, but maybe not all the nails and maybe not all the hair color, because I've figured out a way to do that myself or stretch it out myself.
Well, don't you think that what I've heard is that in the Great Depression, the one thing that women had or kept, it was lipstick.
Right.
Lipstick of any kind. And it was either lipstick or pantyhose. That's what brought them through. This time it has been fingernails, but it's been DIY fingernails, not at the spa going for your $30, $40 manicure.
Yeah, that's exactly
Which
right.
is interesting.
And yeah, you can run out to Target and get SC and OPI and all the fab new colors,
Insane.
for $5. So why not? Just
so
do
I'm
it yourself.
curious, though, given that finding, and we're talking about a new survey called What Women Want from the lovely ladies at Ginger branding agency in the Twin Cities. What do you make then of the fact of all of the blow dry bars? We're finally getting that trend, and obviously it's already taken hold on the coasts. But, and we have hair color store. I mean, at 50th and France right now, DP Hue is opening. Now that kind of fits with what you're saying.
Yeah, I think that's a perfect
Doing it
fit.
yourself.
Yeah, because they're in between the Target run, like Beth's doing. For people like me who are like challenged, I'd get it on my nose practically if I'm going to put it on my. And then the people who don't have the $50, I think it's a perfect thing to do.
Right. But what
the
about
blow
the
dry
blow-dry
bars?
bars?
We have seen some interest in some of our alpha ladies with the blow dry bars, and they tend to be the women who are in the survey more affluent in general, and then the ones who really rock that sleek hairstyle look. The ones where they just don't want any frizz at all. To them, it's probably more important maybe than the nail color. So again, picking and choosing, that might be your thing. You're not going to pick all the things, though. It's not back to the go-go 90s where I'm going to load up on all these expensive services because I think I deserve it. I'm going to pick 1 or 2 of them, and I'm going to have fun with it and love it and leave the rest behind.
Well, and they're also finding a lot of really great, again, products at retail that they can do these things themselves. I myself am addicted to that new Dove dry shampoo. It's just the best for the
Really?
re-blowout. I'm telling you, it's $4.97 at the drugstore.